Today I'm in Mayfair, I'm on Park Lane, and the reason that I've come here is to check out this place, one of the most famous hotels in the world, the Dorchester. Now the afternoon tea here is quite pricey, but not as pricey as if you want to stay. If you want to book a hotel room here, it's going to cost you £1,000 a night. If you want the Royal Suite, well, that's going to set you back £30,000 for one night. Wowzer. Now I'm not going to bother doing that, but I'm going to check out the afternoon tea, which is around £110 per person, and see whether or not it's worth it. So here we are inside the Dorchester Hotel, and I have to say this place is very palatial. This is really, really upmarket. Has the feeling of a sort of 1920s sort of club where you see on the TV where people would come and hang out and the aristocracy would sort of enjoy their time. It's got that timeless feeling to it, very relaxed, got some nice music playing in the background, and it's a really nice private setup. So we've got a table for two here, you can see I've got a lot of space, a cameraman sitting on a chair, so it's really quite upmarket. So far, I have to say, it's scoring quite highly. It's a great first impression. So here's the menu. So we've got traditional afternoon tea. As I mentioned, it's £95, so it's really right up there. So this is one of the most expensive in London. I don't think there's anywhere more expensive than this. And as you would expect, there are lots of extras that you can have. You can have caviar, which if you go for the Beluga Caviar Extra, it's £325 on top of your £95. If you would like a glass of champagne, then you can pay £190 per glass, depending on what vintage you want to go for. And if you want a bottle, then it's going to be a lot more than that. But we're just having the afternoon tea. Now, I'll go through the menu of what's included when it arrives. But the teas here, it's not the biggest tea menu I've ever seen. So there are probably about 20 teas, maybe, something like that. And we were told that you can have 2 or 3. So a lot of other places it's unlimited. You can have as many different teas as you want. Here, I think it's sort of, you can have one with each course. So we'll order some tea. We'll get the afternoon tea started. But I wanted to say that the first impression, really, really good. Okay, so before the afternoon tea arrives, you get an amuse-bouche. Amuse-bouche is French for amuse the mouth. So this is basically just like a little free starter. So what this is asparagus and pea velouté, which is basically like blended asparagus and pea. Looks like a little smoothie, really, doesn't it? And it comes with this amazing. This is also asparagus and cream cheese, and I think this is like a sort of cracker bread. So she said have a sip of it and then have a bite of the little cheese thing. So have a little bit of this. So cheers. It's only a tiny little glass. Oh, that is really tasty. If you like pea and asparagus, that would be right up your street. That's exactly what it is. It just tastes like that. Let's have a little bite of this, which has got almonds on it as well. Nice. Oh, it's really delicious. The asparagus is it's got a sweet edge to it, the biscuit, so it sort of lifts it. It's quite a good compliment against the velouté itself. Oh, I have to say, as a starter, that is absolutely brilliant because it's a surprise, which is always nice when you come out for something to eat and when there's something extra that's not really on the menu. This isn't served at any other afternoon tea I've been to, so it's differentiating the Dorchester. I have to say, so far, presentation is amazing. This plate matches against these sort of things. It looks great, it tastes great. This is an absolute winner. So far, the Dorchester is really delivering. Okay, the sandwiches have now arrived. As you can see, they come on a plate. So this is them. So there's no tier as yet. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sandwiches. And the guy said to start at this end and work your way through to that end, which I quite like. It's always good when you get a bit of instruction. So we'll start off with the smoked salmon. So first of all, I always look at the filling to bread ratio, which I think is looking pretty good. You know, it's got a healthy amount of filling there. And I'll tell you what's in here because it's quite detailed. If I just refer back to the menu for a second, if I can find the page. Here we go. So this is 7&Y smoked salmon, horseradish, fennel, and pickled shallots on rye bread. So it's quite a complex sandwich. There's a lot going on in there. It looks good. It's a good size, probably about 3 or 4 bites in that, which I think is about right when you're coming to these lunches. It's quite a wet filling. It's got quite a lot of moisture in there. A classic combination of the horseradish and salmon. Tastes predominantly, I would say, of the horseradish sauce rather than the salmon. The salmon is just a subtle aftertaste, so really good. I don't like it if it's too fishy. It's a good start. Okay, next up we've got the classic cucumber. Let's have a look exactly what is in here. It is cucumber, lemon verbena and cream cheese on white bread. So once again, not a bad ratio of filling to bread. Well, the cucumber sandwiches can be one of my favourites, but probably not this one. It's a bit too thin, the cucumber. It's tasty. Not as nice as some of the other ones I've had, but it's all right. I wouldn't score them down just because of that, but it's not. There's a bit too much cream cheese and not enough cucumber for me. Now, this is one of the ones that our server got very excited about. And I'll just refer to see exactly what's in here. So it is roast chicken, French sorrel and lemon mayonnaise on malt bread. And if we look at the ratio of filling to sandwich on that, it's a pretty chunky filling. So that looks pretty tasty. That's nice. The chicken isn't overpowered by anything too wet, so it's quite a dry sandwich, which I like with chicken. I don't like it if it's got too much mayonnaise on there. That's really tasty. Yeah, that works really well. That's basically like a chicken salad sandwich, but elevated to a different level. That's not the sort of sandwich that you would make at home, which I think is always a nice thing if you come out to have things that are not easy to make yourself. Okay, next up, another classic for afternoon tea, egg mayonnaise. We'll just have a look at what exactly is in here. It's a Clarence Court egg mayonnaise and Meon Valley cress on white bread. So cress is the green part of that. You can see that the filling is huge compared to the sandwich, so it's mostly filling. That's a good egg mayonnaise sandwich. Pretty good. Now, the final sandwich was the one that our server got most excited about because this is ham and mustard. If I look at it, it's Dorrington ham, nasturtium and mustard mayonnaise. Now, he said that this ham is marinated for 24 hours in a variety of different herbs, and he said it's really subtle. You can see that it's quite pink, the ham. Looking forward to this one. So that's real ham, so it's actually been cut off the bone. It tastes quite salty, and that works really well with the accompaniment that's in there. That's really nice. So, 5 really good sandwiches. And then I've got the afternoon blend, the Dorchester afternoon blend. You can see it's quite dark. It's quite floral as well. It tastes very much like an Earl Grey, but with a lot more floral flavours in there. It's quite strong. Not my favourite blend of tea, I have to say. For the next round of tea, I won't be having this again. It's a bit too strong and a bit too floral. So I like a more delicate tea to have with my sandwiches, but I mean, it's presented nicely. I like the cup, I like the saucer. I can't complain about anything in terms of the environment here. Just don't like the tea that much. But these sandwiches were a great start. See you again in a moment for the best bit of any afternoon tea, the scones. So, the cameraman just ordered a cappuccino, and it's come like this, which I think is really quite impressive. So if you just zoom in on that, cameraman, not too far, don't want to get it out of focus, but it actually says the Dorchester on the top in the cream. So, That's quite flash, haven't seen that before. We've also got a refill on the sandwiches, so you can get unlimited refills on the sandwiches, and I think on the scones, but not on the cakes. So cameraman's going to have that. I've just ordered myself a new tea. I didn't really like the first one, but this is a black vanilla tea. This is delicious, absolutely delicious. So really smooth black tea with just that hint of vanilla as a sort of aftertaste. Really, really lovely. So very impressed with the drinks. Let's see what the scones are like. Wow, well, we're still waiting for the scones to arrive, but in the meantime, another amuse-bouche type thing has arrived, and this is an Earl Grey raspberry and rose ice cream. So you can see that it's got sort of 3 different tiers to it here. It's on a lovely little plate, very delicate. I mean, it's just a small amount, but little things like this really differentiate, I think, the level of service and what you're getting for your money. So it's quite hard, this. You can see it's stuck to the floor. I might have to use my knife to actually get through that. There we go. Oh, let's have a look at this. So you can see the cross cut there. It's got the 3 different sections to it. It's a sort of, it feels like there's a biscuit involved in this, but maybe not. Let me put the smaller piece in, see what it's like. It's really cold. Ooh, wow. It really does taste like Earl Grey tea, if you've ever had Earl Grey tea. And then you get this hint of raspberry and rose, and the white section sort of crunchy, crispy, very, very light. So it just disappears, just melts into your mouth. So wow, not had something like that before. Really special, really nice. Cleanses the palate before we get onto the jam and cream and the scones. So I have to say, that's a really nice touch. It's a bit of fun, it's a bit of theatre. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to the scones. As you can see, the scones and the cakes have arrived, but I don't want to talk about them just yet because our server asked us whether or not we'd like another one of these amuse-bouche ice creams. So we got refill on that as well, which is great. And what I forgot to mention last time is that the middle bit is a meringue. So you've got 2, it's basically like an ice cream cake sandwich, with the ice cream being on the top and the bottom and the meringue being in the middle. Now this is really quite delicious, quite delicate, a bit of fun, and if you're coming, well, why not get a refill? You might as well, it's all included in the price. So I'm going to crack on, finish my second one of these, and then we will talk about the scones. It is now time for the best bit of any afternoon tea, the scones. But just before we do that, it's the cameraman's birthday today. Happy birthday. And you can see that the latest coffee actually has happy birthday written on it. Really nice touch. So really quite impressed with the attention to detail here. Now the scones come, oh, I don't want to drop the whole thing, but let me just take them off here. Come in nicely wrapped up. It's like giving birth to a scone. And they're in here in this lovely little serviette. And we've got a fruit one and a plain one. So let me just put those back for a second. They're the cameraman's, not mine. Okay, so I'll start off with the fruit one. Now, as you know, the way to open a scone is not with the little knife. This is a funny little knife. It's almost like a letter opener. You've got to break it. So you've got to hope that you get a 50-50 break on the scone. That's not too bad, a bit heavier on the top than the bottom. We look at the scones, got quite a lot of fruit in it. Feels nice, it's a good size, not too big. Feels like it's going to be a good scone. Now, let's have a look at this. So we've got 2 jams and the cream. So clotted cream, looks like a good consistency. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And we've got strawberry jam and apricot jam. First time we've had apricot jam on any of the teas that I've been to. So let's dive in. Now, I've been told how to do this. I've been told off by somebody who was sending me some comments because I've been using this and then using the cream and they're all getting mixed in. So the way to do this is to decant the jam onto your plate like this. Decant the clotted cream as well, which is easier said than done because it's really sticky. So let's take that off there. So everything then goes onto my plate, and then I use my knife to put everything on. So I prefer to put the jam on first, so let's put the jam on here. It's a bit messier this way round, I have to say. Even though it might be the right way to do it, it does cause a bit of mess on the plate. Let's put a bit of this clotted cream on now. Clotted cream, it's a really good consistency, that. Sort of soft butter is really what you want, and that's a good consistency. That's a good proportion of each. Let's see what it's like. Well, firstly, the scone is great. It's a really good consistency. It's quite light, not too bready. but holds together well, so there's no sign of it actually breaking. Strawberry jam, quite delicate flavour, nice, not too sweet and sugary, so high-end jam, not quite as punchy and powerful as other jams that I've had, but you know, it's pleasant, but I wouldn't say it's any better than pleasant. It's sort of, I've had really good jams recently. That one's okay. Let's see what the apricot jam is like. I'm going to see if I can open my other scone. There you go, that was very easy. Let's take some of this apricot jam, put it onto the plate, as I've been instructed to do, so that I'm not mixing any of the... You can see that all of these are still intact. There's no leakage. Let's put a bit of this apricot jam on. I'm hoping that this is going to be really flavoursome and tasty, but who knows. Good bit of cream on there. Let's see what it's like. Interesting flavour. Almost tastes a bit smoky. It's an unusual flavour, that apricot jam. Doesn't taste like any apricot jam I've ever had before. Let me consult the menu to see if there's anything special in that jam, because it doesn't just taste like apricots. It definitely tastes... That doesn't say in the menu, and our server told us it was apricot jam, so I trust them that it is. It tastes a bit unusual. So my overall assessment here is that the scones are excellent, great size, great consistency, very light, tasty. The cream's good. The two jams, not the best jams that I've ever had. They're all right, they're okay, but I would like a brilliant jam. That's what I wanted. Everything else has been brilliant so far. The jams have been a little bit disappointing, but let me finish this. The cameraman's going to have theirs, and then we will see you in a moment for the cakes. As I mentioned, it's the cameraman's birthday, and alongside the happy birthday coffee, they've also brought a happy birthday cake, which is a really nice touch here. So let's blow this out. Let's see what's in this cake. It looks really nice. It's like a mirror glaze on there. It's got a blackberry, black currant, raspberry and blueberry, and sort of quite a vivid colour. Let's cut this in half. You can see it's a lovely sandwich sort of sponge. It's a really nice cake, actually. I think that's a really nice touch. So if you're coming in, it's your birthday or you're celebrating something, make sure that you tell them, because you'll get something similar to this, which I think is a really nice touch. I have to say, the little extras that you get here at the Dorchester are really quite impressive. It's now time for the cakes, so let me just get this off here. It's a little bit wobbly, this stand, actually. So here are the cakes. I have to say, from a presentation point of view, they look amazing. Said it before, but you can tell how good a kitchen is by how good the quality of the cakes are, and these do look very high end. So let's go through them. I've got the details here, so I'll just run through it very quickly. So starting off, this one is a raspberry and rose baba with rose chantilly and lychee on that. We've then got a black currants and vanilla tart with almond cream and violet chantilly. Battenberg pistachio cake with apricot jam. And then our server said that this was his absolute favourite. Chocolate and Earl Grey mousse, Earl Grey creme with chocolate crunchy. So they do look great, but what do they taste like? That is always the acid test. So I'll start off with what I think is probably going to be my least favourite. I'm going to try and guess what my least and most favourite will be. So, not a massive fan of Battenberg, but it does look quite good. My little sunflower, my daisy has fallen off, but that's what it looks like. So it's pistachio, so it might be okay, because the thing I don't really like about most Battenbergs is the almond marzipan around the outside. So let's see what this is like. So firstly, it's still marzipan. It still tastes of marzipan. It's just green marzipan. There is a hint of pistachio from the sponge. The almond is quite nice, the almond jam. As Battenbergs go, it's okay. I'm not a big fan, but I just don't like Battenberg. It's nicely presented. It's quite light, quite delicate. It tastes good. Okay, let's guess. Let's have a go at this one next. Oh, it's quite soft and slippery. Let's cut it down the middle and see what's in there. Okay, so we've got a sponge at the bottom, and then we've got a bit of raspberry, and then the cream on the top. So I think that's pop it all in. Very moist. Like the sponge
is soaked in raspberry juice. Very light, delicate. It's quite nice, quite a good cake. It's all right. I liked it more than I liked the Battenberg. So far, that's bottom, that's second. Let's try this tart. Looks quite good shape. Let's see what it's like when we cut it down the middle. Okay, so pretty much the same as what it looked like from the outside. There's a really fruity flavour, really quite punchy. And the base, very light, it's like a light biscuit. Really good. It's quite a nice little treat. Yeah, I like that one. So that's probably my favourite one so far. But let's go for the one that my server said was the best. Now, it's really, it's hard to pick up. I'll have to just cut it here. I don't think it'll survive me cutting it. And zoom in on that, cameraman. You can see the cross section there. So it looks pretty indulgent, pretty tasty. Let's see what it tastes like and try and get the base with it. It's quite a punchy, strong chocolate cream all on the top of that. Just it melts into your mouth. Really strong chocolatey flavour. If you love chocolate, you really like that. It sort of tastes a bit like a cream cake, but a bit lighter and a bit chocolatier. So all four of those cakes were really good. In terms of my favourite, probably was that chocolate one, and then this one, then that one, then that one. But all good, and a really nice way to finish off this afternoon tea. So we're going to finish up here, finish these cakes. I'll see you at the end for the bill and the wrap-up. Okay, so here we are at the end of the afternoon tea here at the Dorchester, and you can see you get a very impressive box to take home anything that you haven't eaten. Now, we got a refill on the scones, so there's only 2 scones in these boxes, but it looks quite good, doesn't it? It's quite impressive when you leave with your box. You can't get a refill on the cakes, unfortunately. So, what did I think of this afternoon? So I've got some more tea here, got some peppermint tea, which is very nice. Nice blend. So I've got the bill here. Let's talk about this and a few things that happened during this afternoon tea, and then we'll get on to the score. So here it is £95 per person. It is very expensive, and there's a 15% service charge on top of that. So that's another £28.50 on top of the £190 for the two of us. So the total £218.50. That is, I think, the most I paid for any afternoon tea so far. So it's definitely expensive. Was it worth it? Well, if we run through quickly, I think the nice little touches that they have here do differentiate this afternoon tea. Firstly, it's a great setting, really nice, very spaced out. You've got these relaxed environments, so it's not just a formal table that you're sitting at. It feels more like a drawing room, a sitting room, the type of thing you would have done back in the 1920s if you were part of the aristocracy, so that's a big tick. We've got a live pianist on at the moment. They come on, I think, at 2 o'clock, so that's been great. There's been no rush in terms of you don't have a specified amount of time at the table, so that's all very relaxed. So there's a lot of really big positives here, and this hotel is amazing, and they've got lots of staff. It's been great. The other little extras that they added during the meal, we had an amuse-bouche to start with. So we had that pea and asparagus velouté with the little biscuits. That was a really nice touch. We then, later in the meal, before the scones, we had the ice cream sandwich with the meringue in the middle. That was really a nice extra as well. And we got an extra one of those. So those were brilliant touches. In terms of the food itself, I think the sandwiches were okay. They weren't the best sandwiches I've ever had. There wasn't anything special in there. I like it when you have an afternoon tea where they have maybe a tart or a bun or something a bit different, but just to mix it up a bit visually and also taste-wise. So they could have done better with that. And I think the sandwiches were just a bit average. None of them really blew me away. So sandwiches were all right. The scones themselves were good size, good shape, good consistency, nice and light. But the jams were a real letdown. They were probably one of the weakest set of jams that I've had of any afternoon tea, so really disappointed about that, because it's not difficult to get a good jam, whether you're making it yourself or buying it in. Just get better jams with nicer flavours, so could do better on the jams. In terms of the desserts, it was a good spread. They were pretty good. They looked good. They tasted all right. They weren't the best cakes I've ever had, but they were pretty decent. And the teas, we had a good variety of teas. Now, 2 issues I'd like to highlight. Firstly, the The server that we had started off very attentive, but then seemed a bit disappointed that we didn't get any extras like champagne or drinks or cocktails and sort of thing, and then became a bit elusive. It was quite difficult to get hold of. We were sort of waving, waiting for him, trying to catch his attention, to change our plates, to get some refreshments on the sandwiches, those sort of things. So the service sort of waned a little bit, and then just to make things worse, at the end when we got the bill, he said, "Oh, I've got to leave now, but I'll give you the bill." So he gave us the bill and then he left. And on the bill, they charged us extra for 2 teas, and that was the Dorchester afternoon blend, which was a standard tea on the menu. Got charged £9 extra for that, and another £9 for a jasmine tea that the cameraman had. So that was £18 plus 15% service charge. So an extra £20. Obviously, I challenged it, and somebody's changed it, so it's been removed from the bill now. But worth keeping in mind if you're coming, just make sure no cheeky little extras have been added to the bill. So that was a little bit disappointing. So overall, I think this was a great experience. It's a really nice place to come to. It's really special. It's definitely up there. It's expensive. It's, you know, it's super expensive. It's probably worth it overall. I think it's a great experience. There are better ones in my view, but it's right up there. It's definitely in the top bracket. So what's my score for the afternoon tea here at the Dorchester? Given everything that I've just said, I'm going to give it a very solid 8 out of 10. I don't think it deserves more, I don't think it deserves less. 8 out of 10, still a really good score, still definitely worth coming to. I would definitely come back here. It was a good one, but I think given the price and some of the little issues that we had, I'm scoring it down a little bit. They could do better with the sandwiches, definitely could do better with the jam, and the service could be sharpened up just a little bit. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again on the next meal.